Hello, Alliyan here. Today we take a look at the most avid Yuumi player in Korean Challenger, M1 Gaming Hoit. Opinions on Yuumi has been very divided among pros and amateur players. Because of the aggressive nature of SoloQ, a very squishy enchanter that requires high skill level to play is not very fit. In the pro scene, on the other hand, Yuumi is considered full of potential as she can reliably help snowballing bruisers while also bringing in a teamfight disrupting ultimate. Let's take a look at Hoit masterfully play Yuumi in his SoloQ game. As usual, let's take a look at the team compositions. Seems similar to the pro scene picks. On the enemy team are Jace and Olaf, very strong early game. Hoit's team would want to avoid early fights and look to make plays when they get stronger. His team doesn't have any front lines, making the enemy team slightly advantageous in front-to-front team fights. Vladimir's scaling and Yuumi's ultimate should be the deciding factor of this game. Here are his runes. With the unusual choice of Comet over Uri, he looks to land harass on the enemy laners. Finally, let's jump into the game. The game starts off with an early fight. Enemy comes invading their jungle, while Hoit's team groups and set up an ambush. They successfully takes down Nico and Jace. They also trade Rek'Sai for Olaf, leading in kills 31. Kills went in the hands of the bot laners and both of the junglers. With bot lane being a counter matchup, Azrael purchases Cult to get through lane. After the long fight, Yuumi hurries back to lane. With the increased AD, the Sivir matchup gets harder from here. She constantly pushes, depriving chances for Azrael to proc Kleptomancy and giving them lane priority. Yuumi changes host to Rek'Sai for a faster recall. She roams mid, but Jace senses the bait and plays safe. She heads back bot with Rek'Sai. Yuumi's laning becomes harder from here. It gets easier for the opponent to fight back when Yuumi attempts an AA harass. With the recent patch, she lost the immunity to CC during W, making it even harder. However, Hoit uses that against them. He lures Alistar and Alistar engages on Yuumi. Yuumi tanks all their damage then goes untargetable. Alistar uses Guardian to chase Azrael, but as they used up most of their damage on Yuumi, they lack damage to take down Azrael. Yuumi also uses Exhaust on Sivir, making her damage near zero, and takes down Alistar. They manage to get a kill without using heal.
Double kill.
fierce fights repeatedly breaks out. Top lane is currently behind, and mid lane is behind by a kill. With the last death, bot lane is also behind in levels. It's not looking good. Yuumi purchases Athene's Unholy Grail and a Dark Seal. She then heads top. In many of his games, Hoit doesn't buy boots and purchases Magi's Soul Stealer regardless of stacks. Perhaps this is a good choice because of the untargetable nature of the champion. Yuumi's ultimate is her strongest weapon. Vladimir comes in with TP and exits with her pool. Alistar dies trying to chase Vlad. Other enemy members swarms in right after. Yuumi's final chapter is deadly in small areas. It stops Nico and Jace from following up on their teammates. Rek'Sai goes down to Olaf with Ragnarok, but Olaf ends up in an isolated position due to Yuumi's zoning. Olaf gets taken down, making it a 2-for-1 trade. Yuumi comes back to lane, but Alistar strikes first. He catches Irelia with Jace, and Rek'Sai pays a price for a failed gank up top. Mid and top is even furthermore behind now. Dragon is also taken by the enemy team. Team goals are now back to even. Yuumi recalls and finishes her Athenes. Unfortunately, top and jungle dies. They lose an outer tower and Rift Herald. The jungler is now struggling due to the laner's disadvantage. Enemy Nico rotates mid and takes a tower. Now the enemy team looks to take down bot outer tower. Azriel baits the enemying, but Olaf was stronger than they thought. Azriel places a TP ward when he blinks in. Yuumi takes focus from Alistar. Yuumi unites with Azriel and lands a perfect ultimate. However, two miscalculations takes place. First, Olaf had Black Cleaver and Enchantment Warrior in 16 minutes, leading to Azriel's death. Second, Vladimir was recalling, which delayed the counter TP. The bait failed. It completely backfired. With Rift Herald, the enemy takes the bot outer tower and slays the second mountain drake. Gold difference has now widened to 3,000 gold. Yuumi recalls and purchases boots. Many Yuumi players purchase boots when they are behind. It allows less risky warding, faster approach to necessary places, get in range of W faster and many more. Scuttle Crab is coming up. Yuumi wards topside with Rek'Sai and attempts a catch. Yuumi is ahead by 2 levels on Alistar, but other members are all behind by a level. It is now 20 minutes in the game. Enemy team with 2 mountain drakes starts to pressure Baron. Yuumi being very squishy makes it very risky to ward when behind. This is likely the reason why she is not as popular in solo queue. This play shows how powerful Yuumi can be. Irelia throws her ultimate on the enemy team trying to rush Baron. Unfortunately it misses. But Irelia Z stuns 2 players. Yuumi sticks to Irelia and casts final chapter. Irelia makes a great play here. She QS Sivir, Alistar then towards a low health Olaf and takes him down, then goes back on Sivir for another kill. Irelia also managed to survive the burst damage from Nico with 2 Triumph heals, and Yuumi finishes off Nico by swapping between her teammates to chase. In a 4v5 teamfights, they come out victorious with 4 kills to 0. Hoit's team grabs Baron as a prize. They are now back ahead in gold by 2k. After recalling, they catch the enemy attempting to push bot wave. Now they aim to take down the enemy outer towers. Bot tower is taken down, but this catch cost them the mid inhibitor. There is now less time to make use of Baron. After reviving, Hoit's team catches Sivir, who was defending mid. They destroy 2 towers mid and recalls back. Vladimir already finished Rabadon's Death Cape and Irelia finished her Guardian Angel. One summoner spell or one item can be the deciding factor of the game. Yuumi risks her life to make an outplay. As her ally sieges top, Yuumi takes a dangerous position on purpose and lures the enemy. She tanks Jace's burst damage then turns untargetable. She hops into her allies, and when the enemy positions themselves in a line, she counter-engages. Vladimir TPS in the middle of the teamfight dividing the enemy team. As Yuumi stops Nico and Alistar, Olaf chases a low-health Vladimir. But Rixiri unites from the top side and takes Olaf down. The enemy team is quite low while Azriel is full health. It's time to chase. They take out Alistar, then Nico, then Sivir and lastly Jace, scoring an ace. With a teamfight win, they slay their second Baron of the game. Vladimir finishes Shinya's Hourglass and Rixiri finishes Guardian Angel. Azriel now has 4 core items with a Quicksilver Sash for Nico. Yuumi has max stacks on her Magi Soul Stealer and Hextech GLP 800. It's time to finish the game. The enemy makes a perfect engage. As Hoit's team sieges bot tower, Nico surprises them with her ultimate. It seemed as if the fight has been decided, but Azriel escapes over a wall and Vladimir survived with his W. Yuumi's final chapter snares 4 players. Azriel and Vladimir follows up with their ultimates. The enemy HP gets swiped out, red team chases down the remaining players and grabs a second ace. They head to end the game with Baron buff. GG.